The University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh Fox Cities campus assists the City of Menasha with video recordings of city meetings. Menasha residents and interested parties can get information about city meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents from the city website, www.cityofmenasha-wi.gov. To express opinions about City of Menasha issues or these broadcasts, contact the Mayor's office, 920-967-3608. Contact the City Alderman. Contact information appears on the website. Or complete the electronic feedback form on the City website. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited.
Good evening. I'd like to call the City of Menasha new Common Council meeting to order. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And tonight we'd like to welcome 4 new aldermen to our team. Our city clerk will be administering the oath of office. If the 4 new aldermen could step forward and join her.
Stand up here. Mayor, I'd like to ask unanimous consent from my colleagues that I can use my cell phone for a picture.
You go right ahead and take some pictures.
As long as I'm not in that picture.
This is what we'll be reading.
How did you get this to turn on, Haley? There you go.
And if anybody else, you guys can come right up. Thank you. Don't have to be afraid. Come right up now.
Good.
Hey, everyone, look at me and say cheeseburger. Haley, you gotta step in there like you're, do this kind of thing. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right.
What is it?
Okay, if I could have you all raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Having been elected to the office of Alderman for the City of Menasha, Winnebago and Calumet Counties, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Yes, I have your official oaths to sign as well.
Are they here or where are they? Those are your copies.
Yep.
Okay, congratulations. And if we could have the roll at this time.
Alderman Schmidt. Alderman Tom Grady. Alderman Ted Grady. Alderman Rapella. Alderman Nichols. Alderman Eisenach. Alderman Sevenik. Alderman Hamben. All are present.
First item on the agenda this evening is the report of department head staff and consultants. Do we have a motion for the minutes and communications? Alderman Severnik.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'd like for us to approve the protocol minutes of 4/11/22 and the communications B.
So motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I should have said what the communication B was, the April 5th spring election results and the canvas, the Board of Canvas report.
Alderman Rappello.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to discuss a little bit about that protocol committee. I know that there was I'd like to make an amendment from the $100 to the $200.
If you'd like to do that, you can do that under item K when we get to that point.
Gotcha, thank you.
Perfect. Anything else, Randy?
No, thank you.
Okay. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor? Aye. Are there any opposed? The motion carries. Item F is public comments. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak this evening?
Hello, Sandra DeVille Taylor, 545 Broad Street. This is the mayor's lucky night. Not only does he have new members on the council, but I missed the previous meeting by an hour. I was assuming it was at 6 o'clock. So you saved a lot of time. I had lots of things to talk about. So instead, I will welcome the new members. And I do have a few things I would like to discuss regarding the protocol. One of them being the order of business. You have now approved the minutes and communications. I would prefer that that be after public comment and separated from report of department heads, officers, and consultants. That should be a separate item in case there is something in communications or minutes that the public wants to comment on. A few weeks ago, I mentioned that one of the communications was a memo regarding the Bryn Theater that was not in the packet, that the public had no access to, yet you had already approved it, as an example. Secondly, in protocol, I would like to see opportunity for public comment under the Administration Committee, Public Works, and Personnel. It's available on all other committees and boards. And it would be, I think, appropriate, not that it's ever going to be used. I might be the only one, but it would both save time and make it cleaner. Then let's see if there was something else in here. Then I guess the only other thing I have to say is, oh yeah, there are two things. Under the mayor's appointments, as much as things change, they seem to stay the same. And it's no offense to the members that he has selected to fill the position of Park Board and Landmarks, but they have been in that position for several years. And as he stated in his own memo of 2009, I'll be asking council members to rotate to new committees so that they can experience another portion of city government functions, giving each council member an opportunity to share their experiences on various committees throughout their term offers both the elders and the committees new insight on city operations. So I would like you to suggest other people to these committees. And then finally, just a word to specifically the new aldermen. I would ask that you ask questions and that you don't just take things verbatim. The municipal code's on the website. If you have a question, read the municipal code. There are things that sometimes get thrown through that really aren't appropriate, or even with the past, I'm assuming there was talk about the public hearing notice. The public hearing notice for the Planning Commission was published on a Friday. The meeting was a Tuesday. That gave those people 4 days' notice. Community Development considers that an informal meeting or public hearing. State statutes does not recognize the word informal public hearing. If you have a public hearing, it requires 2 notices in the paper, 7 days apart. A week is defined as 7 days in state statute. Those people were not given adequate notice. I've gone through this before. And the same with the consent agenda that is used. I have to commend Alderman Sevenick because he routinely removes things from the consent agenda. Under open records law, if you vote for things as a group, and you had, I think, 10 items under the consent agenda, there is not a separate record of the vote on that item. The consent agenda should be limited to routine matters, approval of minutes, appointments, things that are non-controversial. So please do your homework. And for all of you, I would really challenge you to look at this community with a new set of eyes. Pretend you just arrived here and see what is going on. See if we cannot do more about code enforcement, that it doesn't rely on the backs of the residents to make the complaints, that if you see junk vehicles parked on the street, if you see a dead deer hanging from a tree for 2 months, if there's garbage thrown around, think of yourself as like the mailman that has to go through a lot of these neighborhoods. Our city has been described in certain derogatory terms. Let's see if we can't do something, because the council has control of the city. It's not the mayor and it's not staff. It's up to you to direct the outcome and our direction. So good luck to all of you, and thank you for your service.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening?
Hi, I'm Greg Omashinsky. I live at 833 6th Street. And Sandy kind of stole my thunder. I want to welcome the 4 new members. It's great to see new people, although I was a little bummed about the election. Anyway, I want you all to sit, and when something comes up, think for yourself and make sure, like Sandy said, look at the laws that govern, the statutes that govern, because it's way too easy just to say, well, he or she said this and it's okay. It's happened in the past in our city, and I don't want to see it happen anymore. I'm retired now, so my new mission in life is to keep an eye on the council. And when I see something I don't like, I'm going to be here and I'm going to talk about it. You know, I grew up in Menasha. I've always lived in Menasha. In fact, I lived on 9th Street. I grew up on 9th Street. My wife grew up on 3rd Street, and we live on 6th Street. So we kind of just broke the difference. This is a great city, and I just want to see everything go by the book. What happened, I watched the last meeting from last month or earlier this month, and I was very concerned over the things that did not happen with the Bryn demolition. Things were passed up, things weren't done. That's unacceptable. This is on everybody's head from the past council, and I don't want to see things like that happen with the new one. I wish you all luck. And my other comment was about the lighting of the new bridge. I don't know if that's all been settled yet, but I do hope that everybody on the council realizes that all 4 corners of that bridge now are residential. And I don't want to see people being blared at by lights from a bridge when the only people that really benefit from that are the boaters. I realize there has to be some lights boaters need to see, but we don't need a bridge that glows 24/7. We don't need a bridge that's green, yellow, orange, purple, whatever, like you see in Green Bay. You know, those bridges are not in residential areas. I think we need to be concerned about the people that live in Menasha. I know some of the boaters that go under that bridge probably live in Menasha, but probably the most of them don't, and I don't think we need to have a light show for people going under a bridge. I think we need to really think about the people that live around that bridge who are gonna have to deal with that bridge day and night. That's pretty much all I wanted to say.
Hey, thanks for coming tonight.
Yep.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Thanks for coming, Sandy. Now I lost my spot. The next item is item K. It's Resolution 12, adopting the rules of the Common Council. Is there a motion? Alderman Sevenick.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'll move for Resolution 1222. This resolution adopts the rules of the Common Council and the mayor.
There's a motion and a second. Alderman Rapella.
This is where I can offer an amendment. I'd like to offer an amendment to raise that, I believe there's like a fine or of $100 if you miss 3 meetings. What I didn't understand was you miss 3 meetings and you have to fine $100. So then you miss the 4th and you miss the 5th. Do you not get fined another $100 till you miss the 6th meeting? So you really could miss 5 meetings in a row and still only owe $100. So that didn't make too much sense to me. And so, not that $200 would make more sense to me, but it's maybe a little bit more incentive. So, I mean, when you look at the amount, it's $100 isn't even what we get paid in 2 weeks. So,
So you wanted to make an amendment to
To
change the
200.
penalty from 100 to 200?
correct.
Is there a second to amend? There's a motion and a second. Now we're going to be complicated the first night, unfortunately. Yes, so what we're doing right now is just voting on the change from $100 to $200, and then if that passes, then we'll vote on the entire rules at that point.
Okay.
So I guess we will be doing roll call votes after I just told someone else that we wouldn't be doing them. If we could have a roll call vote on the amendment. You're the only one who didn't vote, Randy, okay.
Motion carries 6-2.
Okay, so now we're voting as amended, which include, well, actually, I should ask, are there any more amendments? Alderman Nichols?
Thank you, Mayor. I move to amend and remove the last sentence in section 1.03, the sentence related to referral to a protocol committee and a monetary fine of $100 for 3 consecutive meetings missed.
Okay. Is there a second on the amendment? Okay, so there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? I was just trying to bring this up so I could. Okay. Alderman Ted Grady.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Should that then read $200?
No, the amendment did that. She wants to eliminate it all.
Any fees? Oh, I think so. Okay, thank you.
Basically, she's going back to the way it was
Was before.
in previous
I got you.
She
meetings,
voted in protocol.
before the protocol committee. Oh, I'm sorry,
Discussion.
more discussion.
Thank you. The reason for this amendment is because as a member of the protocol committee and someone who understands the purpose of the protocol committee, I feel strongly that it is not the duty of the protocol committee to determine whether or not someone's absence is acceptable. We are not a human resources department. And at the end of the day, it is up to the residents, the electors, to hold their elected officials accountable. And if attendance becomes an issue in a campaign, then so be it. That's the place to deal with it, not at the protocol committee.
Alderman Sevenick.
And as I had stated in the protocol committee, I disagree with that assessment. We need to have rules in place, and if you don't have them in place, then all of a sudden someone says, well, what do we do? You know, so this way, this is a council rule. This isn't a protocol rule. If we vote for this, we're voting on this as being agreeable as a council.
So does everyone understand what the amendment is? Yeah? Okay, so we are now voting on Amendment 2? No, this is to delete the last three lines, basically. An alderman's absence from more than 3 consecutive meetings shall be referred to the protocol committee for imposition of a penalty consisting of a monetary fine of $100. That would all be deleted. Correct, Alderman Nichols? Okay. And
Motion fails 1-7.
are there other amendments?
I have a question. There was a comment about having public discussion during the committee meetings. I would think that that should be determined by the chair and not necessarily put into the rules. So I just wanted to be clear on that.
So seeing no further discussion, now we're voting on the rules as amended. So the only amendment from what you have in your packet would be the $100 would be changed to $200. And if we could have a roll call vote on that then as well. Actually, I'm supposed to be voting on this too, aren't I?
Motion carries 8-1. It's a change within the software. I couldn't change it right now.
You are actually Mark. She is James. Okay, item L is appointments. The first is the common council appointments. The first one would be for the council president. Do I have any nominations for the council president? Alderman Rappella.
I'll nominate Alderman Sevenick for the council president.
Okay, do I have other nominations? Do I have any other nominations? Do I have any other nominations? Do I have any other nominations? I have to ask 3 times. Seeing no other nominations, I ask that the clerk submits a unanimous ballot for Common Council President Stan Sevenick. Congratulations, Stan. Item B is an alderman member to the Plan Commission. Do we have any nominations? Alderman Grady.
I would like to recommend to the council Ann Schmidt.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk submit a unanimous ballot showing Ann Schmidt as the new alderman member.
Actually, the proper way of doing this. Council member. Mayor, at this point, seeing that there are no further nominations, I move that we cast a unanimous ballot for Alderman Schmidt.
Okay. Item C is the alternate member to the Plan Commission. Alderman Sevenick.
I'd like to nominate Tom Grady.
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing none?
Thank you, Mayor. Seeing that there are no further nominations, I move that we cast a unanimous ballot for Alderman Tom Grady. Congratulations, Tom.
Item M is to recess to committees. So we will start with the Administration Committee. And, oh, we could do a motion to recess if you'd like. Alderman Sevenick?
At this time, Mayor, I'd like for us to recess into the committees of the Administration, Board of Public Works, and the Personnel Committee.
All those in favor? We stand at recess. The first committee